The Warvig is empty and its shields are down, sir. Weapons are locked. I'll fire on your command. Well, let's back off a little bit. I don't want to be right above this thing when it goes. Damn. Usually that does it. We've done what we can to restore the timeline, sir. I recommend we return to the gateway system. The Guardian should be able to transport us back to when we belong. God, imagine what a 23rd century Klingon thinks when he sees this 42-deck monstrosity show up. Sir, the Guardian has opened a portal, but there are Klingon ships blocking the way. The Klingons are hailing us, Captain, putting it on screen. The Kuva Mach and that lovely ship of yours are staying here. We'll have a grand time dissecting both of them. Surrender now and we'll give you a quick death. I guess that's what they think.
Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Next. And the U.S.S. Enterprise has shown up to give you backup. When you first go through this mission, this is a boon. Because these can, they can hurt you a bit. In fact, they actually managed to hurt me a little bit, which is kind of interesting. Although I wasn't actually doing anything, and I don't have my Thoron field going because I'm not moving at all. But when they first show up, it's a boon. Now, though, it's like, Lima, hail the Enterprise. Tell them I will ask for help when I need it. But, yeah. Last time I went through here, well, the first time I went through here, and I'm talking about the first time I actually went through this mission, not the first time I tried recording it, there was actually 2 Constitution-class ships. So I don't know where the other one is. I guess they changed it to just 1. So the Enterprise is hailing us again. Commander Spock says they can assist us. He has deduced that we came through a portal opened by the Guardian of Forever, Captain, and he wishes to speak to you. Opening the audio link now.
I am not unfamiliar with time travel, Captain. We will endeavor to engage the Klingons until you can escape. Live long and prosper.
The Guardian has opened a return portal for us, Captain. We should use it as soon as possible. Time to go home. The 2409 when the shit has hit the fan in so many ways, it's not even funny. Chug. Use portal. The past is lagging. We must leave. We must go back to the future, Marty. Load. Speak to the Guardian. Hello, Guardian.
Time has resumed its shape. All is as it was before. Farewell.
All is as it was before. Screwed up beyond all recognition. Klingons are still at war with you. Romulans are still at war with you. True Way is still at war with you. The Undine's still trying to undermine all of you and get you to kill each other. And the Borg are still coming to assimilate you all. Good day! Where am I going with all of this? Nowhere. I just find it funny. Incoming message from Starfleet, sir. I'll link it to your tricorder. Show off. I could just take it on my comm badge, but no, it's got to be on the tricorder. Congratulations on a job well done. Moral Paris will return to duty, and you have ended the threat to the Federation. But we do have some questions. Time travel is not a routine mission, you know. Don't be surprised if you get a visit from the Department of Temporal Investigations, Vice Admiral. Predestination paradoxes can be troubling for them. Past Imperfect complete! So, Moral, you're just gonna wait here? You know, Thelen said that it was gonna take days for the Kirk's engines to be brought back online. We are sitting here on the edge of Klingon space, and you are standing there with no with no visible weapons, no food, no water, no means of shelter or survival at all on a planet that looks like this, that sounds like Raccoon City. Yeah, Raccoon City. You're just gonna stay here all by yourself. This is one of those, like in Stranded in Space, where you couldn't rescue the other people if you weren't a science branch. This is another one of those times where it feels really un-Trek-like to just be leaving somebody here. You know, they could at least, like, you could at least go to sector space and, like, get a dialogue pop up saying, you know, from her thanking you again and going back to the Kirk in a shuttlecraft or what have you. You know, something to just add a little bit of flavor, you know, a little bit of spice at the end of the mission. Instead of just abandoning Moral Paris in this place, which is what it has you do. Because although it looks cool, it's certainly creepy. And because there's a general order saying nobody can come here at all, who's gonna come and pick her up? Like, again, you'd say the Kirk, but the Kirk's engines aren't going to be fixed for days, you know? Let me give my fellow officer a ride, you know? Because this is not a place you want to be alone. I've got 5 people with me, and it's still creepy, so... yeah. Oy. But there's nothing we can do here, so let's go ahead and depart the system. Ready to return to the Woglinde, sir? Yes, I am. And there's a red alert in Pycanis. There was last time when I finished as well. Has that been reported? PC is indeed hot. Probably is hot too after doing those. Alright, so let's see what we got from those 2 missions. Let's start with City on the Edge of Never. Excellent work. The Kirk's captain has good things to say about you, and a few profanities for leaving his fellow officer on the surface of Gateway, but... anyways. A bunch of disruptors. These are all pretty lackluster, even the first time you go through, to be honest. I never really used any of these. If I used them, if I did get any use out of them, it's probably because I gave them to a bridge officer and I ended up selling them anyways when I picked up a random drop that was better. So we're just going to go ahead and get the Pulse Wave Assault just to complete that. But Past Imperfect has some very juicy stuff in it. Amazing! Starfleet Command is... I just had a flashback to, like, Deadly Premonition. Starfleet Command is very pleased with your performance, Vice Admiral. You've literally saved the universe as we know it. Like I said, the stakes were high in this one. Let's see. You will receive the following rewards. This one has some very nice rewards in it. First off is the Efficient Impulse Engines. I have heard that people had been using the Efficient Impulse Engines all the way until... Vice Admiral level, really. Like, they got them and they stuck with them. I may have been one of those people until I got the Aegis stuff. Maybe. Because it buffed your turn rate so much. It's been the subject of a huge nerf, though. So it's nowhere near as good as it used to be. But it's still a solid part. But the one I'd prefer that I took, and I took it on the triple also, is the Paratrinic Shield Array. This thing is awesome. It's also been the subject of a nerf, though, but before, this was a really great shield. In fact, I carried this shield all the way to Vice Admiral level also. Really, maybe not Vice Admiral. Like, at the very most, Rear Admiral upper half. Keep in mind, I was a Lieutenant Commander when I did this mission for the first time. Or at least the second time on the, during the Head Start. And I kept this shield all the way to Admiral rank. That's how great it is. It's still a good shield. It's still better than the covariant shields, many of them. So this is something that's a very reliable part that you can count on for the rest of the game. The other two I don't really have much experience with, the Plasma Disruptor Hybrid, Beam Array. You'll probably get better stuff elsewhere through other means, especially if you shop on the exchange. The Electroplasma Dual Heavy Cannons. Again, same difference. You could probably find better stuff on the exchange for Lieutenant Commander. But the other one, the one that I'm getting this time, is the Federation Type 1 Phaser. This is the old school cricket phaser. And again, if you watch Rise of the Red Shirt on Blip, or if you watch it on the site, you'll see me using this one a lot in the re-recording I did of Secret Orders. When was it? Sunday? This past Sunday? I used this a lot. In fact, I used it for the whole mission. I cleaned out an entire room of Klingons with this thing. I actually nearly got killed, too, despite being over level by getting swarmed by them. I had to beat a tactical retreat from the room. But this is a great weapon to use just for fun. It's not effective at all against enemies who are your level. Like I said, it really sucks that there isn't a pistol weapon that is useful for me at Vice Admiral level. Like, that's all I want. I just want a phaser. I just want a phaser that is reliably effective at Vice Admiral. You know, I want a phaser that it would be as effective as a full auto rifle, basically. And I know that's like on first blush that probably sounds like, what? Are you nuts? But come on, it's a phaser. These things can destroy buildings. Like, just this Type 1 phaser, it literally fits in the palm of your hand. You know, it's very small, but this has enough destructive power to take out a building. Like the Type 2 hand phasers, you can carve your way through a mountainside with them. You can literally, like, start burning your way through from one side of a mountain to the other side with those things. In fact, you see it quite a bit in the series. They fire off the phasers and they clear off, like, this huge rock face in front of them. They burn it away. You know, they vaporize it. It's, you know, these are powerful weapons, you know, despite the fact that they're small. And they're very useful, you know, not just as weapons, but as tools. And if you've played Elite Force 2, you know what I'm talking about. You have to solve various puzzles by using the hand phaser. And I tend to use the hand phaser anyways in that game because I love the thing so much, and it's so very effective. It's even against Borg. Because you had, like, your primary and alternate fire with the phaser. And if they adapted to the primary fire, you could just start using the alternate fire and still keep killing them. They would eventually adapt to that too, but by that point, you've saved so much ammo on the Infinity Modulator that, and you're so far in the mission already that it's really just nothing to just go all the way through to the end. You've cleared out most of the hard stuff. I just want a Type 2 phaser. I want just a normal Type 2 phaser that works reliably, that I can take enemies out reliably in PvE, you know, even in this new ground combat. And that's something that's never going to happen, which sucks because this is the iconic Trek weapon. You know, like the phaser is to Star Trek what the lightsaber is to Star Wars. You know, it's that sort of iconic science fiction weapon. You know, it even got a shout out in it gets shout outs in like games like System Shock. Like, if you ever played the original System Shock, there's like a handheld laser that is a phaser. Like, if you look at the graphic for it, it's a phaser. You know, just the same as there's a lightsaber in System Shock. Of course, they're not called those things, but that's what they are. You look at the graphics, that's a lightsaber. You look at the little display, the little inventory graphic for the little handheld laser thing, that's a phaser. You know, iconic science fiction weapons, and it sucks in this game, and that's tragic. That is tragedy that they suck so much. But yeah, I'm gonna get this because, God, how many of these do I have? Because I've been playing this mission so many times. Oh God, When did I get all these tribbles? They also suck. Oh, they changed the tribble breeding game on, on tribble. They changed the tribble breeding game, and it's really bad, the changes they've made to it. So I've already got like 3 Type 1, TOS Type 1 phasers. I like the way these look. Like, I like the look of them. They're like these little handheld phasers. So, like, they're casually referred to, not in canon, I don't think, but, you know, among fans of the various shows, they're referred to as the cricket phasers because they're so small. They fit in the palm of your hand, and it does look really cool, especially if you've got, like, you're in full tactical gear and you show up with this little thing and you just vaporize a fool with it. Come on. Klingon Gugh, or Gach, I think it's referred to as. Get rid of that. So yeah, I'm not going to show you me, like, cleaning out my inventory. That was City on the Edge of Never and Past Imperfect. Next up is going to be Skirmish. And the reason, I was originally going to do the Breen featured episodes after finishing with the Klingon missions, but as of, they've redone the level progression. They've rewritten bits of the story and rearranged things over on Tribble, and now the Davidian featured episode series slots in between Secret Orders and the Ultimate Klingon. So there's a little bit of zaniness now with my playthroughs until I get past the Davidian missions. So everything you're going to see next, at least on YouTube, everything you're going to be seeing next is supposed to slot in between those two. I'm probably going to slot it in between Secret Orders and the Ultimate Klingon on Blip to maintain the consistency of it all, because that is the playlisted version that I want to have on my site. Which is why I re-recorded Secret Orders, because a lot of things, if you watch the YouTube version, a lot of things didn't go right. There was a lot of desync when I was editing it. There's still a minor amount of desync in the footage. There was the tail end of one video, the audio dropped out completely, and for some reason, I don't know why. I put a sound effect down in there of crickets chirping because I was waiting for my bridge officers to run after me, and they never did. So I was just kind of standing there waiting for them. But instead of like playing the sound effect of crickets chirping, when it rendered, it just rendered silence. And I don't know why. There was nothing wrong. I've used that same... It's not the sound file itself, because I used that same sound file before when I did Parasite Eve 2. When the game had the most epic, horrifying, LSD-filled, tripping balls off crash on me ever. I still have nightmares about that. But it's not the sound file, because I've used that sound file before. It was fine. So I don't know what happened. I don't know. It does that occasionally, and sometimes I catch it, other times I don't. And I wanted to upload a better version of that for the Blip version and for the site, for the playlist on the site. So you can go ahead and check that one out. And I think that's gonna be it for here. I'll see you guys later in Skirmish. I'm also doing Castlevania right now, though, so I'm kind of spacing them all out, especially since the holiday season's coming up. But that's neither here nor there. This has been City on the Edge of Never and Past Imperfect, and this has been Star Trek Online: Rise of the Red Shirt. And I will see you guys later. So later.